Federal government extends tax amnesty to June 30th. Nigeria's first sukuk listing oversubscribed, driven by local demand. Securities and Exchange Commission lifts technical suspension on Owando PLC. Ajakuta Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline projects to be completed in 2 years, with great prospects for development. Welcome to Business Express. The program is reaching you from our Abuja studio. I am Musa Abubakar. Let's begin with business development. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the extension of the Voluntary Assets and Income Declaration Scheme (VAT) to June 30, 2018. Spokesman of the president said in a statement that the short extension is based on the appeals of professional bodies and individual taxpayers. He added that no further extension will be approved after June 30th. The statement said that the new date was given based on the conviction of the Ministry of Finance that the overall objective to increase compliance will be attained and additional revenue will accrue. The president urged Nigerian companies and individuals to join governments in the rebuilding mission and do the right thing by taking this window of extension to regularize. President Buhari urged tax authorities to use the extension window to perfect plans to prosecute those who fail to regularize their tax status. VAT provides a window of opportunity and an amnesty of sorts for taxpayers, both individual and corporate, to be honest with what they earn and own, and voluntarily pay up on their tax arrears between 2010 and 2015. With a target of raising at least $1 billion from undeclared liabilities. VAT applies to all tax-paying individuals, companies, executors, and trusts, and covers all taxes collectible by federal and state tax authorities. The goal is to raise the percentage of non-oil tax revenue from the current 6% to 15% by 2020. With the commencement of the single biggest gas pipeline project in the country and Africa, Nigeria is about to realize her dream of achieving energy security, economic growth, and employment for teeming youths. Lydia Sampson examines the prospects of the Ajakuta Kaduna-Kano gas project, which, upon completion in 2 years' time, will propel the nation's development.
To become a major international player in the international gas market and lay a solid framework for gas infrastructure expansion within the domestic market is being boosted with the historic Ajakuta Kaduna-Kano AKK gas pipeline. AKK gas pipeline, a product of public-private partnership, experts say will enable connectivity between the east, west and the north, which is currently non-existent. NNPC Chief Operating Officer Gas and Power, Said Mohammed, says the multiplier effect of the Ajakuta Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline will resuscitate moribund industries and create jobs for many Nigerian youths.
For us is to move the energy source to where it is needed and then propel the other sectors of the economy, i.e. the industrial, the power, and of course the agriculture.
The project, which is divided into 3 for implementation purpose, will be simultaneously executed.
We thank this administration for the initiative. Really, it has been on the table, but until this administration came in and gave us, of course, the necessary backing to go on this private partnership, and thank God today we have gotten the Federal Executive Council approval, the contract has been awarded, and the contract documents have been signed.
On completion, 24 months from now, AKK gas pipeline is expected to enable gas supply and utilization to key commercial centers in northern corridor of Nigeria, with the attendant positive spin-off on power generation and industrial growth. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The Debt Management Office of Nigeria Tuesday listed the pioneer FGN Sovereign Sukuk 100 billion naira at the NSE and FMDQ OTC exchange in Lagos. Described as an infrastructure classified bond, the Sukuk is now the first non-interest capital instrument developed by the FMDQ and issued by DMO on behalf of the federal government. The 100 billion naira Sukuk, which attracted 106% subscription, is earmarked to finance the rehabilitation of 25 federal roads cutting across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. Oscar Oyema, Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, says the listing is a pointer to a rise in demand for sustainable and more responsible investment in the global economy. Nigeria has been expanding her search for alternative funding to meet the infrastructure demands and propel overall growth. We're now being joined by Momodu Musa Jouf. He is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Jais Takaful Insurance. He will be talking to us on Islamic financing and quest to bridge Nigeria's infrastructure deficits. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, Islamic financing has been gaining grounds globally. What are the opportunities available to Nigeria, considering roads have need some serious attention?
Privileged to be here. Nigeria is on the right track, one would say now, with Islamic finance and the size of Nigeria and the potentials of the market. We are saying the sky is the limit. I mean, it's the best way to raising capital for infrastructural development, and Nigeria is now into all of it. Islamic Bank is available. We're now seeing the expansion of Sukuk, and Islamic microfinance would also be out to help the grassroots, and Islamic insurance Takaful, which is my special area, is also established since 2016 and is doing very well now.
Okay, the Sukuk bond was oversubscribed yesterday. It was driven, saying that it was driven by local demand. What does this mean for investing in a country like Nigeria?
Well, we are saying that Islamic Sukuk or Islamic bonds are structured in such a way as to generate returns to investors without infringing Islamic law that prohibits interest. So in which case we are saying, I mean, we're introducing an alternative to conventional financing, where already we have learned that the compound interests have been killing the economy. But with this new system, which is giving an alternative to even players who were reluctant because of conventional practice, it's not surprising that it will always be oversubscribed, because the market has always been there, the demand has always been there, waiting to be tapped.
Okay. You're head of Islamic Insurance Institution, and seeing the way Nigeria has been struggling with issues of coverage, do you think the Takaful will enjoy a listed patronage like the Sukuk?
Yes, actually, I mean, because it is like insurance makes the money. But for it to invest in a halal, or for it to invest in interest-free avenues, is always a demand for them. We have that struggle. Okay. But Sukuk is coming at the right time to support the advent of Islamic insurance also coming on board. And when we say Islamic insurance or Takaful, let's see it as another vehicle for economic growth. It has definitely not so much to do with religion. I would say to you, I would want to share with you that I am a Gambian who established the first Islamic insurance company in West Africa in the Gambia. Is now 11 years old and leading the industry of Gambia in terms of premium income. But from there I went to Zambia, which is 95% Christian, to establish another one which is, up to the time I'm coming to Nigeria, only staffed by non-Muslims, Christians. So it is not a question of Christianity or Islam, but a question of introducing an alternative which is fairer to what has been on the ground for so many years.
Okay. What's your view on the insurance, and how do you think it does contribute to infrastructural development?
Well, we are saying all successful economies are backed by viable insurance industries. Everything that we do in life involves risk. So insurance is there to say to you, no matter what the odds, we are there to give you support to continue your business. You are running a shop in Kaduna Market or Kano Market, there is fire. Then you end up losing everything that you have gathered for so many years. But if you were insured, you turn back to your insurance and get compensated, indemnified, and then you continue your business. But this conventional system of insurance which was on the ground was not appreciated by all. And for the economy to be very much successful, we need to create all avenues for financial inclusion so that everybody becomes a player. With this concept of Islamic insurance, we are saying it is no more anything like giving to us, but you are coming to participate in the creation of a pool for the mutual benefit. You are a member, you suffer a loss, you are paid very promptly. If you do not suffer a loss, at the end of the year, that profit which is generated by the company, you are called upon and given your share. So every participant of Takaful, at the end of the year, you are either benefit by way of your claims being paid promptly, or you benefit by the profit that we have to distribute. Now, there are people, or members of society, who have nothing to insure. They are not thinking of anything because they cannot even meet their square meals. They still have to wish Sakaful well, because that profit which is going for distribution, we are saying for every 1,000 that we have to distribute back to people who have not suffered losses, there will be a 25 naira set aside for the needy, for underprivileged members of society in the form of zakat. So that if you're not thinking of anything insurance, when we have 500 million and 25 per mil of it has to go on distribution, then it certainly is a situation which is there for all. You have something to insure, you insure. You do not suffer a loss, you are compensated, you are given part of profit. You are a member of society who is deprived or needy, you wait to get your share of the zakat that we distribute annually.
Okay, how do you think investing in Islamic securities will promote financial inclusion?
What we are saying is because, I mean, we are, let's not say Islamic insurance or Islamic securities have to do with the religion. It has to do with a concept which is very transparent, very fair, and very attractive. But besides, we are saying those who were also shying away from conventional practice of inclusion into finance. We have found them keeping monies in safes, keeping monies in the house and all that, but now they will allow their contribution to come in and be part of the circulation. So definitely is another vehicle for economic growth, and not only to any religion.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. We've been talking to Mamadou Musa Jaouf. He is a managing director and chief executive officer of Jaiz Takaful Insurance. Now, moving on, sources are reporting that the Securities and Exchange Commission of Nigeria has formally lifted the 6-month-old technical suspension on Owando PLC, a leading Nigerian energy company listed on the Nigerian and Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Amina Nujem has details of how the market fared so far this week.
The equities market of the Nigerian Stock Exchange extended its decline on Monday, the 9th of April 2018, dropping to a 3-month low as 30 firms recorded price depreciation. Investors lost 149 billion naira at the close of trading as market capitalization fell to 14.60 trillion naira from 14.753 trillion naira recorded on Friday and 14.99 trillion naira on March the 29th. The NSE All-Share Index dropped by 1.01% to close at 40,429.18 basis points from 40,841.14 basis points on Friday. The stocks finished lower last week as all market indices closed in negative territory. However, on Tuesday, the 10th of April 2018, equities on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange advanced marginally to close with a gain of 0.17% at 40,499.04 basis point, while market capitalization stood at 14.6 trillion naira. 388 million equities were traded, valued at 4.208 billion naira in 4,222 deals. Mobil, Sterling Bank and CCNN led the gainers table. Wema Bank, GlaxoSmith and Lasaco topped the losers table, while Sovereign Trust Insurance, Zenith and Skybank had the most shares traded.
The global stock rally continued in Asia on Wednesday, with many marketers starting with modest gains after strength overnight in the US and Europe. Moplang Dakok has an outlook of global stock markets.
Stocks appreciated Tuesday after comments from US President Donald Trump and Chinese President aimed at releasing some pressure from trade tensions. In Africa, South Africa's JSE Top 40 appreciated by 1.31%. Nairobi All-Share Index gained 0.07% and closed at 193.20, while Tunisia's Tun Index lost 1.54%. Ghana's GSE Composite went up 0.15%, as Namibia Overall Index also did the same by 1.92%. Elsewhere, major U.S. equity indices spiked higher. Dow Jones gained 1.79%. S&P 500 went up 1.67% and closed at 2,656.87. And Nasdaq gained 2%. European stocks climbed on the day as gold gained. DAX jumped 1.11% and FTSE appreciated 1.00% as CAC gained 0.84%. In Asia, stocks in Shanghai gained as much as 1.93%. Hang Seng gained 1.65% to close at 30,728.74, while Nikkei 225 lost 0.13% on the market day.
The Catfish and Allied Fish Farmers Association of Nigeria, CAFAN, has appealed to the federal government to intervene in the current ban on importation of smoked fish from Nigeria into the U.S. The national president of CAFAN, Mr. Rotimi Oloye, who made the appeal, said that the government's intervention should involve the release and dispatch of food safety and inspection services document by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to the U.S. Food Safety Agency. Amina Nujon had a discussion with Muazu Muhammad, Director, Fishery, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, on the prospect, challenges and regulation of the fishery industry. Let's hear them.
Welcome to Business Express.
Yeah, thank you.
Nigeria is looking to enhance fish export, but it seems there is a fish deficit of 2.1 metric tons. How would you explain this?
Well, actually, the demand for fish in Nigeria is estimated at about 3.2 million metric tons. Well, this estimate came about as recommended by the World Health Organization in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organizations of the United Nations. They recommended a per capita consumption of every Nigerian at 17.5 kilograms of fish per annum. So based on that, if you multiply that amount by the population of Nigeria, we arrive at 3.2 million metric tons. Out of these 3.2 million tons that we need, now we are only able to produce about 1.1 million metric tons. Now this 1.1 million metric tons covers artisanal fisheries, that is the fish that is caught in the rivers, in the dams and reservoirs all over the country, in addition to the quantity of fish that is harvested in the marine water. In also the quantity of fish produced through fish farming. So when you aggregate all this together, all in all we produce 1.1 million metric tons. So we still have a deficit of 2.1 million tons, of which, since we have to import about 800,000 metric tons last year to augment the shortfall. Already. Okay,
let me come in here.
Okay.
Before, what was the nation's demand and what was the production output like before now?
Before now?
Yes.
Well, before now, the production line was about 700,000 metric tons back in 2015. But now production has risen to 1.1 million metric tons due to a number of innovations and interventions made by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development.
With so many species of fish around, which one is the most viable for Nigeria and what is its return on investment?
Of the type of fish that we produce in Nigeria, catfish, which is Clarias garipinus, accounts for 80% of the total production. Other species of fish like tilapia, heterotis, and others, account just for about 20%. You see, we have 200 indigenous fish species in our water bodies. Unfortunately, they have not been domesticated. You see, there is a gap there because we need more research on that. We have research institutes, but unfortunately they are poorly funded. So they cannot carry out the type of research that we need. The type of research we need is just demand-driven. You see, we need to diversify the production rather than only culturing catfish.
That brings me to my next question.
Yes.
There's the issue of smuggling and unregulated fishing in the country.
Smuggling is something that we cannot stop. But we have a number of times we have tried to address the issue. You see, right now in the ministry we have set up a task force, that will deal with those that are smuggling fish. We intend to visit all cold rooms in Nigeria, and wherever we have a smuggled fish product, we confiscate it, and at the same time we charge the person, to face the law.
Talking about illegal activities, they say there's something fishy in the fish business. Help us understand, what is fishy?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, there is no fishing. As far as I'm concerned, there is nothing like fishy in the fishing industry. You see, the major problem we're having is that we have a lot of fishery resources in our marine waters. Unfortunately, we cannot exploit it 100% because of a number of factors. We have issues of sea piracy, we have issues of armed robbery, we have issues of IUU, that is illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing within the Nigerian territorial waters. So all these are factors that will not allow us to harness the maximum benefit from the marine resources.
Are you working with security agencies to check some of these challenges?
Actually, we collaborate with the Nigerian Navy, in tackling these issues, the menace that is affecting the fishing industry.
And what outcomes have you gotten from such activities and collaborations?
Well, actually, we are constrained because we do not have patrol vessels. But I'm happy to announce to you that the President and Commander-in-Chief of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, has approved the procurement of 2 patrol vessels to be manned by the Nigerian Navy. So the Navy and the Department of Fisheries will collaborate to surveillance that is the marine territorial waters, to cover out all these issues of armed robbery and sea piracy and IUU. Yes.
Muazu Muhammad, thank
Yes.
you for joining us on Business Express today. He is the Director of Fishery, Federal Ministry of Agriculture.
Thank you very much.
With a production of output of 461,000 metric tons of sesame seeds a year, Nigeria is the world's 6th largest producer of the commodity. It is currently generating over $700 million in export revenue. Ahead of cocoa, let's take a look at how commodities are trading in the global market, as compiled by Bosede Abel. Let's see how currencies are trading midweek. The much we can take on this edition. Business Express returns Friday. I am Musa Abubakar.